All right, now joining us on Hot Copy to further understand what a SIM card registration law would look like in the Philippines, we have now with us House Committee on Information and Communications Technology Chair Toby Tiangco. Congressman Tiangco, thank you for joining me today.
Yes, thank you, Karen. Good morning.
All right.
Umaga po.
Okay, while we know it has a long way to go before this becomes a law, it has very strong support in both houses. Give me an overview of how a SIM registration law would look like in the Philippines.
Okay, first of all, pag postpaid naman, automatic, di ba? Hinihingi ng telco yung ating identification, yung billing address to make sure that we are billed, di ba? Ang wala lang naman identification is yung yung prepaid, di ba? Kasi yun, talagang bumili ka lang, 17 pesos lang yata, may prepaid ka na. So, pag naging batas na to, hindi ka nabebentahan. So, kailangan mo na, it's the same process. Kung ano yung mga IDs na kailangan sa postpaid, ganun din sa prepaid. So, kailangan mo ng valid government ID, no? Number one, if you're a Filipino citizen, even if you're a foreigner coming to the Philippines, kaya pupunta ka dito, turista ka, magbabakasyon ka ng less than 30 days, kailangan mo pakita yung passport mo at return ticket. Ngayon, kung ikaw naman ay foreigner na nagtatrabaho dito, pati yung work permit mo, kailangan mo pakita. And then, yung mga may existing, lahat ng may existing na prepaid sa ngayon na hindi registered, na hindi nahingan, ang mangyayari po niyan is within 6 months, dapat mabigay nyo. Kung hindi, automatic ka-cut off ng telco yung inyong prepaid card.
Oo. Okay. So this is actually the product of two. This is a consolidated bill. And in the consolidated bills, kung bibili ka ng prepaid card, for example, you know that they're sold everywhere. They're sold in malls. Some of them, you can get them in supermarkets. May iba pa nga sa sari-sari store, but not in all. I'm curious, would it change where you purchase prepaid cards?
No. Okay. First of all, I'll explain lang. No? Kaya consolidated to kasi madami kami nag-file. So, di ba, in Congress kasi kung madami nag-file, i-consolidate lahat ng bills na yan para maging isang bill, isang committee report lang ang lalabas at isang bill lang is-sponsor namin sa floor, no? Ngayon, hindi. You can still buy it anywhere. Kahit saan pwede mong bilhin. Okay. Kaya lang, yung reseller will have to be registered doon sa telco. So, from the telco, yung reseller, tapos yung reseller will have to get all those data and then pagkabenta niya, kailangan naman niya ipasa ulit sa telco yung mga data na yon.
So every prepaid card sold, the telco has to collect the data from the seller on who bought the prepaid cards.
Yes, first of all, pag release yung prepaid cards, naka-serialize yan, di ba? So alam ng telco, kanino niya release yung, kung sino, ang definition namin dito is, there are two entities here. The PTE, which is the Public Telecommunications Entity, and the direct reseller. No? So ang mangyayari niyan is siyempre, kailangan niya ilista kung kanino napuntang reseller yung mga SIM card na yon. At syempre, kung sino yung reseller na napuntahan ng SIM card na yun, responsibilidad naman niya na i-report doon sa telco kung yung mga data na kailangan bago niya ibenta. May mga penalties dito both for the telco and for the direct reseller. Depende kung sinong lumabag doon sa alituntunin ng batas.
Okay, so let's start first with the basics. Based on this bill, what kind of information will the seller ask from the buyer if it's just a prepaid card? And you're a local. Let's say you already have a postpaid account, pero you want 5 more prepaid SIMs for whatever reason, right? At anong impormasyon ang kailangan?
Hindi, okay. Basahin ko. Kailangan mo magbigay ng isang valid government ID, no? Passport, national ID, SSS, GSIS, driver's license, license to possess firearms, PRC ID,
Lahat
IDP
po yan
ID.
or
Hindi,
either?
isa lang.
Okay.
Isa lang kasi di ba madami nagsasabi wala kaming ID, wala kaming ID. So dinamihan natin yung choices ng pwede, no? Digitized BIR ID, voters ID, senior citizen card, PWD card.
Oh.
Ngayon, kung sabihin mo wala ka pa rin yan, sa dami-dami yan, pwede ang NBI clearance, police clearance, or PSA certified birth certificate.
Okay.
So, ang dami naman nun. So, imposibleng wala ka naman kahit isa nun.
Oo. Okay. And what is the penalty to the seller if they sell these prepaid cards based on that particular bill without getting information from the buyer?
Okay, if it is the telco that sells, if it is the telco that violates, first offense is 300,000. Second offense is 500,000. Subsequent offenses, third and subsequent offenses is 1 million for every offense. That's for the telco. No? Ngayon, for the direct seller naman, kasi maliliit lang to no? A fine of 5,000 to 50,000 shall be imposed. And then, di ba, may any officer or employee of an implementing agency, if they violate, kasi may mga makukuha lahat ng data, di ba, data privacy issues to, no? If they violate any of the provisions of the law, they could be suspended or dismissed from the service.
All right. Because this is what I wanted to ask you now. Democracy.net PH is concerned that number one, does this provision give telcos the authority to subpoena users? Does it give them authority?
No. The telco does not have the authority to subpoena users. I think what they're referring to is subpoena the users who have existing SIM cards, diba? If I understand it correctly, ang sinasabi nila, may authority ba yung telco na yung mga existing SIM cards ipatawag nila? No, because the law specifically states na within 6 months, if you are an existing prepaid card holder, dapat within 6 months upon the effectivity of the law, responsibilidad nun. At hindi ka na isasabina ng telco. Automatic na lang puputulin pag hindi mo sinubmit yung mga kailangang identification.
Because there's an excerpt of the law and I'll read it. Perhaps you can clarify this. It says the PTEs and social media providers, upon order of a competent authority, not necessarily the court, duly authorized under existing laws to issue subpoena, shall be required to provide information obtained in the registration process pursuant to an investigation of a complainant's verified sworn complaint.
Teka, what section are you reading?
Okay.
Sure.
Now, I don't have the exact section, but this is an excerpt pulled out by democracy.net PH.
No, I think they are referring to another law.
Okay.
Another House bill. Kasi ang kapartner nitong House bill is yung no call, no text, no email registry, which we will hear on next Monday.
Okay.
Kasi di ba, okay.
And you believe they are two separate bills?
Yes,
but they're
because,
not connected.
They're not connected because in Congress, okay, with all due respect, no,
to democracy.net.
No, to those who put so remember the reason why this bill was vetoed, doon sa veto message binasa natin, nakasulat kasi naipasok doon sa original bill, wala po dito yung social media account registration. Di ba? Kaya doon sa veto message ni President Duterte, ang sabi niya, he is vetoing the bill because of the rider. Of the
social media account registration.
Social media account registration, no? So, kasi in Congress, every bill has to have only one topic. So that's the reason why that's why I think that is the reason why they vetoed that social media registration, because the topic was about SIM card registration and not about social media registration. Okay? So ngayon naman, pinag-usapan natin SIM card registration. hindi mo pa pwedeng isama yung bill ng no text, no email, no call registry because it's another topic. So you have to file another bill. Okay? Ito kasi has to go hand in hand, di ba? So alam na natin kung sino yung may-ari ng mga SIM card. Paano ngayon kung nakatanggap ka ulit ng kaduda-dudang message? Phishing or yung mga scam na sinasabi, you cannot open your bank account, you have to click this link.
Yes.
Alam mo, kahapon nagko-comparean kami sa Congress, lahat kami nakatanggap ng mga, may pangalan na ngayon di ba?
Ako rin meron.
O lahat may pangalan na. So, so ngayon, on Monday, yun naman ang committee hearing namin doon sa no call, no text, no email registry. So pag nag-register ka doon at nakatanggap ka pa rin, yun yung time na magko-complain ka. And yun yung time na sasabihan yung telco na i-disclose nila pag nagkaroon ng hearing at may probable cause at nasa korte, the court can issue a subpoena na alamin kung sino ngayon yung may-ari. Since meron na tayong SIM card registration, alam na natin kung sino yung may-ari. Kaya hindi pa pwedeng mawala yung isa kasi kung SIM card registration lang, anong violate niya? Nag-violate lang siya kung hindi siya nag-register. Pero kung nakatanggap ka ng text messages, mas madali kung meron ng no call, no email, no text registry kasi automatic violation of the law yun.
Okay. All right. Now, here are some concerns from Data Ethics Philippines as well. So this is quoting from House Bill 5793 and also the upcoming Senate Bill 2395. Is there a list of possible activities which can be considered crimes under the bill?
No. 5793 is the SIM card registration.
Yes.
The crime here is not registering your SIM card.
Okay, that's it. Because I want to read to you some of the concerns of Data Ethics Philippines.
Yes, please.
You can correct this. For example, anonymous online defamation, trolling, hate speech, spread of digital disinformation of fake news as defined under pertinent law.
Doon yun papasok sa okay, those crimes, kunyari hate speech, there's a law against it. Kunyari sinascam ka, there's already a law against it. But who owns the SIM card? That is the problem now. Diba? The owner of the SIM card, hindi mo malaman. Kunyari, may nag-threaten sa'yo. Diba? For example, ano masabihin sa'yo? Papatayin kita.
Yeah.
Saan ka pupunta ngayon? Hindi mo alam kung sino yung owner. Ngayon, pag lahat ng SIM card ay registered na, may nag-threaten sa'yo, pwede ka na pumunta sa police authorities at magreklamo. Kasi meron na silang hahabulin. Ngayon kung magreklamo ka, ang hirap naman hanapin kung prepaid naman yon.
So it seems, Congressman, there's a confusion amongst many people regarding they are connected but they're separate, right? So yes, it seems to me, hearing from you now, the SIM card Registration Act is just about registering the SIM card. The other bill is about all the concerns on social media registration,
which are not covered by existing law. Because if you threaten someone that you will kill him, that is already covered by that's already covered by the law, diba? But you don't know who to point to. So now, if you receive now threatening messages or you receive scam messages and it's proven to be a scam message, pwede ka na magreklamo.
Okay.
Hindi na kailangan yung no call, no text, no email. Ito namang no call, no text, no email is just so that we just don't receive anything if we don't want to from sellers or from whoever.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So moving forward.
Kasi sorry, Karen. Yung phishing is covered by the cybercrime law, di ba? The problem is who is doing it to you.
Yeah, you have no idea.
But with the SIM card registration, alam na kung sino.
Okay, so now moving forward, Attorney Shell Diokno, for example, brought up some concerns on data collection, right? How do
Yes.
we ensure that if of course, data will be collected by direct sellers, by telcos, first, how do we ensure that telcos or direct sellers won't use this data, or even third parties, right? That could have other malicious intent. They won't use the data collected for their own means.
That is already protected by the Data Privacy Act. Di ba? That is already protected by the Data Privacy Act. You cannot just give out any data. Kaya nga ngayon nagtataka lang. The problem there is how to
But then
determine...
data is out. That's the question. How do they get people's names? Diba, narinig mo yun? Minsan the names you get are the ones listed on their GCash. The other times the names is their Telegram name. So clearly there is data collection going on.
Okay, number one, yun ang mahirap honestly, yun ang mahirap i-determine, di ba?
Oo.
Kasi sino yung nag-leak? Let's put a hypothetical situation. Ang laki-laking kumpanya ng telco, di ba?
Oo.
Isa lang, of course, I'm not pointing to them. I'm just saying it's a hypothetical situation. Hindi ko alam kasi yung mga security measures nila. So, but I'm sure yung telco may security measures. Siguro if someone logs into those data and downloads it, makukuha naman ng telco kung sino yung employee nila na yon, di ba? But yun talaga mahirap eh. Pero tingnan mo ha, kahapon tinesting namin yan eh. For example, I don't know your number. I just randomly type a number on Viber.
Yeah.
If you register your real name, your name will come out in my phone.
That's true. Absolutely.
Yun. So if there is a machine that can randomly type numbers, lalabas yung mga pangalan if you save it under your real name.
Yeah.
Diba?
But
so that's a possibility.
Do you believe that, I mean, under this bill, is there a provision that would take telcos or make telcos more responsible in protecting a user's data?
This bill is concentrated on
registration alone,
because the protection of our data is already protected by the Data Privacy Act. Protektado na tayo dun eh. So dapat lang maimbestigahan talaga, matuntun kung sino yung gumagawa nun. Pero kung sabihin, may parusa ba para sa mga lumalabag? Meron na yan.
All right. Congressman, Attorney Shell Diokno was one of the points he was asking is, do you believe a SIM card registration law will actually solve the problem of tech scams, or is there another way to go?
No, that's why I was saying earlier, it's not a stand-alone. It cannot stand on its own, di ba? We need the no call, no text, no registry law also. So that mas mahigpit na talaga. Kasi ito automatic eh. Pag nakatanggap ka ng sales promo at nagpalista ka doon sa no calls, no text, no email registry, automatic violation na yun eh. So, mas madali yun.
Okay.
And next week we will tackle this on Monday.
Now, do you believe government should also have a role, for example, in addressing the proliferation of not just tech scams, but even phishing? Do you see that government has not acted on any of this so far? I mean, prior to the House bill, has government been remiss in their duties?
No, I don't think so. It's not that easy to apprehend these people, di ba? Lalo na if they're using mobile phones, di ba? And most of the time they'll be using mobile phones. So kaya nga kailangan itong no call, no text, no email registry. Diba?
Okay. May tanong po dito.
Sorry, kailangan mo na yung SIM card bill bago yung no call, no text, no email registry.
Okay. Now, may tanong po dito. One of our viewers is asking, paano malalaman ng isang direct seller kung fake ID ang ipinipresenta ng isang prepaid SIM card buyer?
Of course, there is a presumption of regularity pag pinisilta yon. Ngayon, pag naimbestigahan yon at napatunayang fake, and then automatically ika-cancel yung SIM card niya. Number one yon. Number two, talagang hahanapin yung tao. But yun na nga, kaya nga government ID, government issued ID, para may photo. So it is the responsibility of the direct seller na siguraduhin na yung pinagbebentahan niya ay yung taong pareho doon sa photo.
Okay. Now, all over the world, there are 157 countries that actually require you to register your name when buying a prepaid SIM card. 157 countries, although I just found out that the US and the UK apparently don't require it, but 157 countries require it. What do you think will be the benefit, other than these annoying text messages we're getting, in terms of national security? How can it benefit the country on a bigger scale?
That is the same reason, di ba? Kasi yung cellphone nagagamit yan to activate bombs or other devices, no? That is doon sa explanatory note namin, that is one of the reasons to prevent terrorist attacks and for national security. Isa sa mga reasons yan doon sa ating explanatory note.
Okay. All right. Anything you'd like to add, Congressman Tiangco, to those who are actually, kumbaga, it took so many years before the national ID became law. Frankly speaking, there was a lot of debate and cautiousness and fear with the national ID, and now here we are. You have so many registrants with the national ID. Are you seeing the same fears with the SIM card registration?
Hindi naman siguro, no? Hindi naman. First of all, tama ka, no? Doon sa national ID, nung lahat ayaw. Nung nagkaroon national ID, unahan naman sila doon sa pila. Ngayon naman nagreklamo na hindi pa na natatanggap yung national ID, no? Dito naman, wala naman because lahat naman pwedeng mabiktima at madami nang nabibiktima dito sa mga scam na to, no? So, I was thinking, ano ba yung reason bakit ayaw nila nito? Wala naman akong maisip na reason. Kasi ang dami na natin binigay na ID. Yung isang reason kasi na pwede sabihin, wala sila nito, wala sila niyan. Ang dami ng choices, di ba? Pwede na nga NBI clearance, di ba? Pwede na nga police clearance, pwede na nga yung birth certificate. So, alam nga naman yung isa sa tatlong yun, wala ka.
And do you have the support of the telcos? I'm curious. Are there fears it will affect sales?
No, I don't think it will affect sales because everyone needs a cell phone now. No, and secondly, in the same meeting last week, we also tackled the two priority bills of the president: the e-governance and the e-government. So pag napasa yon, in order to transact with the government, you will need a mobile device, diba? Kasi everything we're trying to do everything online para mas mabilis na lahat.
On that
note, hindi lang naman ito yung inaasikaso natin. Pinapadali rin natin yung serbisyo sa tao sa pamamagitan ng e-governance and e-government bills, which is the priority bills of President Marcos.
All right. On that note, thank you very much, Congressman Toby Tiangco, for joining me today. I hope you can come back on the show because it seems that this particular bill has the support of the Speaker and majority of the House so far, even if it's only passed in the committee level. That's correct.
Yes. Actually, the mother bill will be the bill of Speaker Ferdinand Martin Romualdez. Kasi di ba sa Congress, kung ano yung naunang i-file na bill, yun ang magiging mother bill. And the good thing about it is the mother bill is exactly the same, exactong same version noong bill na pinasa ng Kongreso noong 18th Congress. So, halos mabilis na lang yan. Ang medyo makakatagal lang yan is because starting September 21 is budget hearings na on the floor. So yun lang ang reason, because we have to concentrate on the budget starting
And
September
I'm
21.
curious, offhand, would you know if this has President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s support? Because you wouldn't want this to be passed by both houses and be vetoed again. Would you know if without the social media account registration, the SIM card registration alone would have his support?
Okay. First of all, admittedly wala siya doon sa sinabi niya sa SONA, no? Pero nandun rin naman yung agency in charge, yung DICT, Secretary Ivan Uy was there, and he did not object to it, no?
Okay.
Being the alter ego of the president when it comes to ICT concerns, syempre nandun siya. And I think ayos naman yung we have better relationship now with the executive branch, kasi yung PLLO natin dati namin kasamahan si Dong Mendoza. So anytime pwede namin tanungin si Dong na okay ba ito kay Presidente o hindi.
All right. On that
So
note,
wala naman worry on that.
No worries on that. Congressman.
I would think so. I would think so. Okay, I will ask to make sure. Okay. I will ask to make sure. Thank you for asking that question. Tanongin na lang natin para siguradong hindi mabito.
All right, Congressman Toby Tiangco, thank you for joining me today. We'll have you back on the show. I do hope so. You take care, sir.
Yes, thank you, Karen. Gandang umaga.